What's going on, everybody? This is the Eagles Rant with Quest 64, and we got to talk about this bogus-ass report TMZ put out about A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. And on top of that, I want to talk about what the trade could be for A.J. Brown, and should the Eagles really be looking to add another receiver to an already stacked receiver room? Let's get into it. So literally for years now at this point, it's been being reported and heavily rumored that A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts' relationship just hasn't been the same. And if you ask me, it seems like they rift started the collapse year. I don't know what happened. Something went down. We definitely know something went down between the two. No one knows exactly what it was, though. And the relationship, it just hasn't been the same since that incident back in when the collapse happened in 23. That's what people are saying. And A.J. Brown, he got married this weekend to his fiance. And it sucks that this is the topic that's trending right now about it. But, of course, with the whole situation and how things transpired over the last season and the antics that they'll call it by A.J. Brown, this is the story that they're going to go with and try to just add more drama, more drama, things that we don't need and that they don't need. Now, one of the more recent rumors is that wide receiver A.J. Brown did not invite his friend Jalen Hurts to his wedding over the weekend. And they're saying that it's because Jalen Hurts was invited to A.J. Brown's engagement ceremony last May, but Hurts decided to go to the Met Gala instead, and that Hurts' decision to attend the Met Gala instead of the engagement ceremony is what has led to the current rift between Brown and Hurts. Now, here's why I call bullshit. Because before the engagement ceremony, they were already saying that there was a rift between the two. So how would this now be the thing to cause the rift between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts? That just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like this is another attention-grabbing story because football offseason is slow right now and there's not much to talk about. So let's drum up the A.J. Brown drama again. And I think that's exactly what this is. And it doesn't help when you have major media sites like TMZ straight up getting the information wrong. I mean, look at this shit. TMZ is saying that no Eagles players, no current Eagles players were in attendance for A.J. Brown's wedding. But then if you look closely in the photo, you literally see what appears to be Jalen Hunt and Saquon Barkley right there looking at A.J. Brown and his fiance, or his wife now, as they're walking away. So it's just like, come on with the dumb stuff. Like, stop making shit up. There were current Eagle players there at the wedding. Y'all are just trying to find something to create drama about. It's crazy. And again, I'm not denying the fact that there is clearly something going on between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, or at least it appears to be. But the truth is, none of us really know. So when people sit there and try to make up these stories about what it is and what's going on, man, that's just dirty. All of the stuff surrounding Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and their relationship and the antics that's been put on by A.J. Brown, whether it be making posts on Twitter, him reading a book on the sideline, cursing out Nick Sirianni in a playoff game because he wasn't getting off the field in time against the Niners when the Eagles are trying to get a punt for our special teams out there to punt the ball away after a drive failed. I've just always been curious to know if this situation has really started to affect the Eagles locker room and if it's something that's been festering and now we're at a point where it's going to completely blow up and really destroy the foundation of this team, or maybe it's time for the split to happen where you send A.J. Brown off to kind of replicate or what's the word I'm looking for? Repair what has already been damaged behind this situation between the two players. And I kind of got a look into that because a day or two ago, Sean McCoy on his podcast, Speak Easy, they talked about what the Eagles locker room has been like and kind of what some of the guys have been saying and how some of them are really fed up and they want this to be over, man. But I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to play that little clip for y'all just so you can hear from the Eagles legend.
This is
TMZ
scary.
find out everything.
Right. But listen, man. Obviously, it's not what it used to be,
Yeah.
right? And I think
Goofy ass. TMZ find out everything. No, the fuck they don't. They didn't even report that it was the right people there at the wedding. What are you talking about, Acho? I know y'all heard it in the background. Let me replay it in case you ain't hear it.
This
Listen.
is
TMZ
scary.
find out everything.
Right.
TMZ find out everything. Can't stand that boy. I gotta make an Acho video. I cannot stand him. Anyways, let's keep it going.
But listen, man. Obviously, it's not what it used to be, right? And I think sometimes when it's a work relationship and we're friends outside of the work relationship, and then I'm not delivering on the field because maybe it's his fault or maybe it's his fault, our relationship might get affected. And I think this is the problem we have right here. AJ was going for 1,400 yards. They was winning games, et cetera, et cetera. The offense slowed down. Offense ain't doing well. He ain't throwing the ball. I ain't catching the ball. Now it's a little friction there. I mean, I don't make a big deal about it, right? I mean, they won't probably be best friends for sure, right? But even before the wedding, we've been knew this.
Correct.
We've been knew this. So it's time to move on. I think AJ's going to a new team, right? We're going to see what Jalen Hurts looks like without AJ Brown. We're going to see what AJ Brown looks like without Jalen Hurts. I can't wait because now we won't have this conversation every day, every night. And I think this type of conversation from all my homeboys that play with the Eagles, it's affected the team. We tired of hearing about AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. We tired of hearing about it.
I think
no need to hear from Acho. His opinion does not matter. Anyway, so as y'all are hearing there from LaShawn McCoy, Eagles legend, keeping this all Eagles related, and some of the, he's saying current Eagles players on the team, they are tired of hearing about the A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts situation. And if we, as the fans, are tired of hearing about it, I know that the players definitely are ready to move past this, man. So if A.J. Brown leaving is going to save this team, the culture of the locker room, then that move has to be made. And, you know, I found what LaShawn McCoy said interesting because he said, you know, A.J. Brown was having 1,400-yard seasons. His first two seasons with the Eagles, he finished with over 1,400 yards and touchdowns, a lot of touchdowns in both of those seasons. And then his next seasons were 1,000-yard seasons, the lower thousands, very low thousands, but it was still a 1,000-yard season. So it's not like A.J. Brown went from being a 1,000-yard receiver to under 1,000 like Justin Jefferson was this year. That's not the case at all. A.J. Brown consistently with the Eagles has been a top 10 receiver in this league. Whatever way you want to slice it up, A.J. Brown is a top 10 receiver in the NFL, and he was that during his tenure as an Eagle. And yes, McCoy is right. We are going to see if Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts without A.J. Brown, and if A.J. Brown is A.J. Brown without Jalen Hurts. We're going to see that this upcoming season, and I'm very excited for it because it also was being reported that Sean Mannion, his offense, is an entirely new playbook from anything that we've ever run before with Jalen Hurts at the helm. So I'm excited. One more thing I want to talk about briefly is the A.J. Brown trade and what the Eagles could be getting in return, depending on what team A.J. Brown goes to. Now, there's been recent reports that the Jacksonville Jaguars are interested in A.J. Brown. We know that the Rams and Eagles were really close to pulling off a trade, as that was reported by Adam Schefter. And then, of course, the team he's been linked to since, they've been talking about A.J. Brown being the New England Patriots since the Eagles had their Super Bowl run. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, there were rumors that year that A.J. Brown was going to get traded to the Patriots in the offseason. So, he's been linked to the Patriots since forever at this point. I don't necessarily know if I want the Eagles to get a receiver in exchange for A.J. Brown. I feel like with the wide receiver room we have right now, I'm going to list off the guys we got without A.J. Brown there, because he's still the Eagle for the time being. But the receivers we have without A.J. Brown being there, Devontae Smith, Dontavian Wicks, Makai Lemon, Hollywood Brown, Elijah Moore. What's that guy's name? Can't remember his name. Cooper. Okay, and they also have Johnny Wilson, who is coming off injury, and then Quez Watkins. So they got 8 receivers right now that they got to figure out where there's a fit for him on this roster. Darius Cooper, that's his name. There we go. He was kind of like the rookie standout last year, and a lot of people were excited about him being our wide receiver 3, but now we're in a different time. He's going to really have to earn that spot if he's a wide receiver 3. This year, he would have earned it. But the Eagles have a huge wide receiver room already. I don't necessarily know if you go and get a Keyshawn Boutte from the Patriots or a Brian Thomas Jr. from the Jaguars. Like, do we really want to add another receiver, or should the Eagles look to stack up on draft picks? What I would want is for them to stack up on draft picks. I think we have a good enough receiver room to get us through this season. Now, if things don't work out with Devontae Smith being our wide receiver 1, you then have draft picks to go and get a guy or draft someone else and try to get that thing figured out. Maybe get him back into the wide receiver 2 role that he was in when A.J. Brown was on the team. But that's all I got to say, man. This whole wedding situation was crazy. It should have never blown up this way at all. And that's going to be the video, man. Please make sure that y'all like, subscribe, and also please make sure that you like the video, share it, possibly share it. Comment down below so we can all talk about the sport we love, NFL football, Eagles football. And I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Y'all have a good night.